I'm Sami Huraini. I'm a Palestinian activist from the area of Masafir Yatta. I studied my university in law degree. I was one of the founder of a local youth initiative in Masafir Yatta called Youth of Sumud. Youth of Sumud mean the youth of the resilience and the resistance in the land. In English, it means also steadfastness. This initiative is from youth perspective how to support Sumud and the daily life of our people in Masafir Yatta who are facing the Israeli settler violence and Israeli army harassment and attacks that aims to kick us out from our land in order to remain in our land and to defend and protect it from the occupation. During my life, I was growing up as a child where my father was a leader also in the non-violent resistance against the occupation, and that was a help and a background for me in order to grow up, in a resistance family because my dad as well learned from my grandmother. She was daily challenging the settler who are trying to steal and grab her land. I was born in this family of strugglers, my mom, everyone, and I follow on in the same path they did. And I got involved in the activism and in defending human rights, organizing demonstrations and work in advocacy and organizing activities in the ground that aims to protect the land from settlers and army. One example of the initiatives that I was part of is, for example, Faza campaign. It's one of the campaigns that we launched during the olive harvest, where we go with Palestinian farmers to harvest their olive trees in the season near the settlement who got attacked, try to provide human shield to be in the first line to help with picking, to be present, sometimes document in many different levels of work, for example. And this campaign is very big and it's across the West Bank. For example, this year also the campaign grew up bigger and bigger. It started to involve more and more international activists. It started earlier before the olive harvest, and now, we have activists who are in the ground, in the field, in communities, trying to provide protection. International activists with Palestinian and even some of the Israeli left-wing activists in order to try to protect Palestinian and also to protect the land. I have been involved also in on the ground in Masafar Yatta with my group of Youth of Sumud, which is going to the land and planting trees. This is one the activity that we do continuously because the settlers all the time claim that they came to an empty land and all of this and that land is not worked and Palestinians do not deserve this land. This is how the settler and the Israeli Zionist narrative. Every time Palestinian plant or do anything, the settlers go and destroy and break the trees. And our mission is always to, replant the trees. We go in with initiatives to plow lands that the settler prevents families to go to plow their land because working the land means protecting the land. We have been involved in program with international activists accompanying school children to work to come to school who face settler violence and settlers harassment. Beside to this, we try to be all the time present in most of the big and small demonstrations and actions for, demanding freedom, ending the occupation, demanding our rights. I have been involved in organizing and joining so many different initiatives and activities on the ground that aims in defending human rights and documenting human rights violation and also how I can act as being, first liner in order to protect people when things get happened about attacks or arrest or such things. As you know as well, to confirm that the fight here is a non-violent fight, and because here the occupation push all the time for people to use violence to put everyone in jail and to evict communities. But we don't give this weapon to the occupation, and we fight every day non-violently with the title, and our title is the existence is resistance, being present in the land every day. It's a big form of struggle, even going with the sheep in the land and doing all this kind of programs, and also providing protection. Also, we have a guest house. We host activists and people that come from abroad for solidarity. Their presence itself, it is a protection, a kind of protection. Israel doesn't have borders and doesn't have red lines. Israel targets everything. It's called Palestinian. Journalist, if it's a Palestinian, is not journalist. Medical is not a medical. Human rights defender is not a human rights defender. They deal with the Palestinian all as they are one, and they are less human beings than them. This is the base of Israel since more than 70 years. How it deals and acts with Palestine. Area C represents more than 60% of the West Bank. Area C means it's under full Israeli military control. Masafir Yatta is Area C. Masafir Yatta has faced all the things I am telling you and explaining to you about, from the demolishing of the military, from the very brutal settlers attacks. They burned houses. They would break into houses of people and stole their sheep with the protection of army and police. Settlers, as I told you, they were shooting towards us, live shooting, and one of the victims of the shooting is my cousin Zakaria Adara, who spent more than 80 nights in the ICU. It was shot in the village of Tuan near my house, close to the mosque. We talk about night raids of the communities in Masafri Yatta, of different villages, threatening people to leave in 24 hours, and if they don't leave in 24 hours, they would come and they would really, kill them. This is what the threat was by the Israeli settlers, and Israeli settlers who were dressing army dress. Settlers took over a lot of lands and stole a lot of lands during the period. Area C is usually banned and not allowed to access, according to the Israeli military law. Palestinians are illegal for them to access to water, illegal to access to electricity, illegal. It's clearly in the same time that a settlement is far, like 100 meters. This settlement is, and it's illegal according to the international law. This settlement is provided with water, provided with electricity, provided with buses for transportation, with every single and general services of life. And in the same time, with all of this, they are far from us 100 meters, and they live under the Israeli civil law, and we are here under the Israeli military law. And this is exactly where, when we speak about apartheid, it shows up. To use two different laws for two different people in the same territory, it is apartheid. Israel, doesn't care for Palestinians, even if they are human rights defenders, even if they are journalists, even if they are paramedics, everything, all the Palestinians for Israel are targeted, and Israel doesn't, count to three before targeting or attacking anyone. When we talk about illegal demonstration, I mean, everything here, according to the occupation in the West Bank, is illegal. Organizing, a small meeting of more than 10 people, according to the military law, under a political umbrella, it's illegal. So imagine demonstration. I tell you about a real criminal attacks, like one of the things I testified 2 months ago when I was in the community of Khalt al when the settlers start to burn the fires around the community. They were burning almost the village and the houses, but then I ran there with other friends with my car. I went down there. We started gathering in the community, in order to stand in front of the settler to come in the community. But we were 12 people, and we saw that there was at least 70 settler masked coming into the community, and I didn't know what to do. It was very terrifying. It was in the night. It was so brutal. The settler coming with the sticks and masks, and also carrying gasoline bottles. Like, they want to burn the entire community. We stood a little bit in front of them, but we understand staying more minutes in front of them, we gonna be killed, and we're gonna be like just one guy that they catched him, and I filmed him in the beginning when we were beating him. This guy until today is suffering from the injuries and the beating of that moment. I had to run. I left even my car in the community. I just wanted to run with the people that were with me and the other people from the community to save our souls. You know, from they ran after us at least 3 kilometers in the dark. We in the mountains. We don't know where we're going. And even more soldiers and settlers come and continue to run after us. My shoes break because it wasn't a rush. But I was scared to say in the videos that when I publish them that they are my videos, because they will understand that jumping and being in every place and every community, this could put me in even more dangerous and more risk to do this. So I launched the video online without even mentioning my name or myself. And I am a human rights defender, but still I'm Palestinian, one person of this community that also faced the same thing that the community faced. I have my house, I mean, our guest house that we built is under threat of demolishing, everything under threat of demolishing. But at the same time, we try to make from this difficult situation and different reality alive, and we try always, we look always for hope. We keep fighting for hope. It's not war; it's genocide against Palestinian, and it's still going on. And at the same time, Israel doesn't stop from targeting human rights defenders. We are still going through, unfair and injustice court. Again, I just want to confirm to you that most of the time in this court, when we are held on them in this military courts, we are the only civil part sitting in this court. The judge is a soldier, the translator is a soldier, the prosecutor is a soldier. Just me, the Palestinian, and my lawyer are the only civil part in this. This is how is the function. In general, the military courts are having that unjust detention to accuse Palestinian, administrative detention. You, the Palestinian, you didn't do anything, but we are worried that you will do something, so we're going to put you in jail 3 months, maybe 6 months, maybe then the 12 months, 18 months, and it will go on with this process. This court also, when the Tatar come to them and complain against the Palestinian, this court will be always beside the Tatar. The thing that I would say right now, the thing is, if I want to wish something now, that the occupation is to be end, and all these crimes of the occupation to be end. I hope the settlers and the occupation in general will be held accountable for the ongoing crimes that they have been committing against us by the international law. And we see that every day that the settler, and now the most important thing in my area, what is forcible transfer and ethnic cleansing, that I really hope my area will remain and will resist, and we continue the work that we are able to do, and not being jailed or not being imprisoned or not being killed as well. Because this is the option that Israel occupation put most of the time in front of us. Israel occupation means settlers and army, and they are always cooperating in this thing, hoping that all this difficult time and hoping this difficult reality is going to end very soon. If the situation already now looked difficult and hard, we look for that in the best way. How can I continue? Hope I can continue the work of supporting my people and also less being targeted for what I am doing, and hopefully really being all the time to be able to reach all the communities and be by their side. The only thing is that the situation should end, and this is what I hope for the moment. This war, this crimes, this genocide, now it's finished. Not finished, still going on in Gaza, and now it's started. It start also in Lebanon, and it's gonna be an ongoing thing. Everyone could put red lines for Israel, the international community, the Americans, everyone, not to just give bombs for Israel, to keep bombing and killing people. This is not peace. People who are talking about peace and talking about justice, like the US is just giving bombs, is giving weapons. What do you mean giving people bomb, and then you want to work with diplomacy and you want to work for peace and you want to work? This doesn't work like this. To work for a better life for everyone, better world, we should be realistic, stop the hypocrisy, take serious action. We have been Palestinians suffering 70 years from occupation, from Nakba, from Naksa, from Intifadas, everything. And the suffer is still going on because there is people like America are taking, side of supporting Israel, and just without holding Israel accountable, without putting red lines for Israel. And that's why they are now not caring for anyone and they are continuing. So I hope that would live in a better world, at least more applying for the international law. This suffering of the Palestinian people is because of the hypocrisy of the world and the international community and not taking a real decision against Israel. That's what makes it strong. And so we should put sanctions, we should act, we should hold the Israeli war criminal hold it to justice.